Time now for PFT on Yahoo Sports. Peter King, Mike Florio, some of the big stories in the National Football League. And in honor of Election Day, Peter, we're going to cast our ballot for the first half, sort of, MVP of the 2020 season. If we were casting that ballot today, which player would you pick?
I'd pick Russell Wilson. Mike, I think on his way to leading the Seahawks, basically to, even though I like Tampa Bay a lot, you know, I've been sort of sobered up by some of their close calls. And I think Seattle really is going to end up being the best team in the NFC because they will get defensive pieces back. But they will be the best team in the NFC because they know that every week they've got a guy who can put 30-plus points on the board with a much lesser supporting cast than Patrick Mahomes has. And really, Mike, you know, as we enter the first, the halfway point of the season, Russell Wilson, you know, has a higher quarterback rating than Mahomes. They're each plus 20 touchdown to interception ratio, thrown for more passing yards per game, and, you know, a better rating. So to me, I just think even though Mahomes has been terrific, Aaron Rodgers has been very good, you know, until very recently, I think Russell Wilson, for the first half of the season in total, has been the most valuable player.
26 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions in only 7 games. Mahomes has 21 touchdown passes and 1 interception in 8 games. And yes, Russell Wilson with the higher passer rating. And I agree with you, the lack of the supporting cast. And also, Peter, this is something we've discussed in the past. You've written about it this season, that top seed dynamic. Right now, the Seahawks, top seed in the NFC. And I think the MVP ultimately comes from one of the top 2 seeds in the conferences. And if the season were over today, it would be Seattle coming out of the NFC with that one loss, and Russell Wilson would be the MVP.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to adhere to that, but certainly it helps. If you pilot your team to one of the best records in football, that should mean something. What means more to me is that I believe that, and again, I don't want to penalize Patrick Mahomes for a great supporting cast. You shouldn't do that. But I do want to credit Russell Wilson for being on pace for a 59 touchdown pass season. And he's got one mega weapon at wide receiver, and that's DK Metcalf. He's got a very pedestrian backfield and a pedestrian situation at tight end, too. So I just think this is the year it's setting up right now for Russell Wilson to finally win it.
And I say this in jest, but if that mega weapon, DK Metcalf at receiver, continues to play like he has or like he did on Sunday when they actually throw him the ball, he may siphon votes away from Russell Wilson.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing about the MVP, and we've discussed it, Mike, is that, you know, because there are 50 voters and they have 1 vote each, it's very unlikely that DK Metcalf will siphon a single vote away from Russell Wilson, even if he has an incredible season. Because if you look at it and you can only vote for one guy, then, you know, how do you vote for DK Metcalf over Russell Wilson? You know, it's been a very rare occurrence in NFL history where you look at a situation and say, yeah, the MVP is a wide receiver. You know, it's almost always, you know, since Adrian Peterson now, it's almost always been the quarterback. And I think Russell Wilson finally is going to get his.
2017, there was some talk of Antonio Brown late in the season being an MVP candidate, but that obviously didn't materialize. And Russell Wilson, who's had 0 MVP votes because of the dynamic that Peter explained, he may get all of them this year. We'll see. We're halfway there, and 9 more weeks before we get to the point. Hopefully we get 9 weeks in before we get to the point where they cast the ballots on the MVP. That's it for this edition of PFT on Yahoo Sports. He's Peter King. I'm Mike Florio. We'll see you next time.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.